The future is here. We are ready.
Catchy, man.
Yeah, definitely grabs your attention.
That's the slogan from TeenTechJa.
Oh, cool.
This youth tech conference in Jamaica really caught my eye, and that's what we're diving into today.
Sounds interesting.
It's all about this push to make Jamaica a tech leader
Okay.
and how they're putting young people at the forefront.
Makes sense.
Our main source is this article from the Jamaican Gleaner, November 9th.
Gotcha.
It's all about how Jamaica's youth are being encouraged to embrace technology to create a globally dominant future for Jamaica.
I like that.
Yeah, it's ambitious.
It is, but what I find really striking is the government's commitment.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look who they put in charge. Daryl Vaz. He's handling science, energy, telecommunications, and transport.
Wow, that's a lot.
Talk about putting your money where your mouth is, right?
Yeah, they're serious about this.
They're recognizing how tech impacts every single aspect of life.
It's not just empty promises either.
Right.
The article highlights how much they're investing in telecom infrastructure,
Okay.
aiming to connect all Jamaicans no matter where they live.
Ambitious goal.
That's a huge task though, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're not talking about wiring a small village here.
Yeah.
This is a whole country. And it ties into this bigger point Minister Vaz makes in the article.
Okay, what's that?
Technology is changing the jobs we do.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Some jobs are going to disappear, new ones will pop up.
Definitely.
And it's young people who need to be ready for this shift.
Makes sense.
That's why fostering this culture of innovation, as they call it, is so important.
I like that term.
Yeah, it's about equipping people with the mindset and the skills they need.
So giving everyone internet is just the first step.
Exactly.
It's about giving them the tools to actually thrive in this new tech world.
Couldn't agree more.
Now, the article mentions these transformative technologies. One of them is satellite direct-to-device connectivity. But instead of just explaining what that is, what kind of impact could this have in a place like Jamaica?
Well, think about it this way.
Yeah.
There are so many rural communities in Jamaica that have always struggled to get decent internet.
Right.
Suddenly, with this technology, they're connected to educational resources, telehealth,
Oh, wow.
online markets, all kinds of things.
It could really change things.
It could be huge for those areas.
And Minister Vaz paints this picture of Jamaica 20 years from now.
Okay.
Autonomous transportation, smart homes powered by renewable energy, everyone digitally connected.
Ambitious.
Is that even realistic given what Jamaica's facing?
It's a bold vision, no doubt.
Yeah.
There are so many factors to consider: infrastructure development, funding, even potential pushback from folks who benefit from how things are now.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
But what's exciting is that they're thinking long-term,
That's a good sign.
not just about quick fixes.
And that long-term vision seems to be what TeenTechJa is all about.
Seems like it, yeah.
Getting young people excited about tech and preparing them.
For the future, yeah.
Workshops, presentations, hands-on stuff. It's about making tech feel accessible.
Exactly, not intimidating.
Now, the article also highlights the work of TeenTechJa's founder,
Okay.
Davia Bryan Campbell.
Right, I saw that name.
What do we know about her?
Not a ton from this article, to be honest.
Okay.
But founding a conference like this
Yeah.
shows incredible initiative.
Right.
Makes you wonder what her story is.
What got her here?
What drives her to empower young people like this?
I'd love to know more about that,
Me too.
especially since her work seems connected to what the Jamaica Teachers Association president is saying.
Dr. Mark Smith, right.
Yeah, he emphasizes that tech is key to addressing Jamaica's evolving needs.
He's basically saying, hey,
Yeah.
we're heading into this fourth industrial revolution, whether we like it or not. Jamaica's economic progress depends on young people stepping up and using tech.
Wow.
There's a real sense of urgency there.
I can hear it. He even talks about an army of young people using tech as a productivity tool
Powerful imagery.
to create change.
It is. It makes you wonder, though.
What's that?
Is the education system actually preparing them for this?
So we've got this big picture of Jamaica's tech ambitions, and young people are at the heart of it. But how do we actually bridge the gap between these big ideas?
Making it actually happen.
Yeah, between the ideas and real change in people's lives.
It's where the rubber meets the road.
Right, exactly.
And it seems like Dr. Smith is onto something.
Oh, yeah.
He's saying it's not enough to just give people access to technology.
Okay.
The education system needs to change too.
He talks about preparing students for the fourth industrial revolution.
Catchy phrase.
But what does that even mean
Yeah.
for a student sitting in a classroom right now?
You think about the skills they'll need.
Like what? What are we talking about here?
Less about memorizing facts or taking standardized tests.
Okay.
It's more about learning how to learn critical thinking, solving problems, being able to adapt to new information and new technologies. Those are the skills that will be valuable no matter what the job market looks like in 10 or 20 years.
It's almost like we're preparing them for jobs that don't even exist yet.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Wow.
And that's where that culture of innovation that Minister Voss talked about comes in.
Right, I remember that.
Encouraging young people to be curious, to experiment, to not be afraid to fail.
Oh, that's important.
Try things out, try again.
And those are the qualities that lead to new ideas, breakthroughs, solutions.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And isn't that what TeenTechJa is all about?
I think so, yeah.
This idea that tech isn't just something you use, but something you can actually create and shape.
Absolutely. Giving young people those hands-on experiences, showing them different parts of the tech world.
Yeah.
They're planting those seeds of possibility.
Who knows? Maybe the next big tech innovation will come from a TeenTechJa alum.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
It's the key of TeenTechJa. We were talking about the founder earlier.
Gave Brian Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The article mentions her company, EduHub.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that connection?
Well, it shows how committed she is to this idea of education being the foundation for empowering people through tech.
Makes sense.
I mean, you don't launch a company like EduHub and a conference like TeenTechJa unless you're seriously passionate about it.
It makes you wonder what her story is.
Totally.
Like, what sparked that passion?
Yeah. Was there some moment where she saw how powerful tech could be?
Some aha moment.
Right.
I'd love to hear that story.
Me too. It's always fascinating to learn how people find their path.
For sure.
Maybe she saw that there weren't enough opportunities for young people. Or maybe someone else inspired her.
It could be so many things.
But whatever it was, it's clear she is a driving force in this movement.
And her work is having a ripple effect.
Oh, definitely.
Think about all the young people she's influencing through TeenTechJa.
So many potential innovators.
Future entrepreneurs.
Exactly. It's like she's building a whole ecosystem for tech to grow in Jamaica.
And that ecosystem is crucial.
Absolutely. It's not just about individual success stories. It's about that supportive environment where young people can connect, work together, and learn from each other.
Building a community of innovators.
Right.
And that brings us back to Dr. Smith's idea of this army of young people driving progress.
He's got a way with words.
He does.
It's not just about one brilliant person. It's about everyone working together.
Collective effort.
Exactly.
He's imagining these young people using tech to solve problems and create a better future for Jamaica.
Powerful stuff.
It is. And it really shows how important it is for people to work together.
Collaboration is key.
It's not just about learning how to code.
Nope.
It's about learning how to work together, share ideas, build on each other's strengths.
That's where the real magic happens.
And that's where those 21st century skills we talked about come in.
Communication, collaboration, critical thinking.
All of that.
Those are the things that make you a good team member.
Let you solve problems together.
Right.
Dr. Smith's not just talking about tech skills.
Oh, no.
He's talking about life skills.
The kind of skills that make you a good contributor to any team, any community, for sure. And those skills are essential for a thriving tech sector.
Makes sense.
Think about it.
Yeah.
The most successful tech companies aren't built by one genius working alone.
Yeah.
It's teams of talented people.
It's all about collaboration.
Exactly.
So we've got this fascinating mix of individual empowerment and collective action.
Right.
Bright young minds at TeenTechJa and Dr. Smith, urging them to work together to make change happen.
It's a powerful combination.
But what about the challenges?
Oh, there are always challenges.
What could get in the way of this vision?
One thing that comes to mind is access to resources.
Okay.
Not every student will have the same access to the latest technology.
Or the best educational opportunities.
Right. Bridging that gap is going to be so important.
That's a huge point. And it's not just about physical access to technology.
True.
It's also about access to mentors.
Networks.
Opportunities to develop their skills.
And to connect with potential employers.
Yeah, all of that.
It's about creating a level playing field.
Where everyone has a fair shot.
Exactly. So that every young person, regardless of where they come from or where they live, has the chance to succeed in this tech-driven future.
And that's where the government has to step in.
For sure.
They've talked about investing in infrastructure, promoting innovation.
Right.
But are they doing enough to address these issues of equity and access?
That's a good question.
Are they creating programs and policies that help young people from all walks of life.
That's what we need to see.
And it's not just the government's responsibility.
Of course not.
It's a collective effort.
Absolutely.
Educators, community leaders, businesses, even individuals.
Everyone has a role to play.
It's about creating a culture where everyone feels invested in the success of these young people.
Where everyone sees the value in nurturing that next generation of tech talent.
And that's where things get really interesting.
Oh, so?
Because it's not just about the economics anymore.
It's about something bigger.
It's about social change.
Exactly. When you give young people the power of technology,
Yeah.
you're not just giving them a job, you're giving them a voice.
Wow.
A platform to share their ideas, connect with the world, make a difference in their communities.
That's powerful.
It is.
And that's where Jamaica's unique cultural identity comes into play.
Interesting point.
We always hear about the global influence of Jamaican music.
For sure.
But what about Jamaican culture shaping the tech world?
Now that's a fascinating question.
What happens when you mix that Jamaican creativity,
Resilience.
entrepreneurial spirit?
With the power of technology.
What kind of innovation comes out of that?
Who knows? But I bet it'll be amazing.
I'm thinking about apps that reflect Jamaican values.
Yeah.
Businesses that use the island's natural resources.
Social enterprises that tackle local challenges.
The possibilities are endless.
Truly, it's about using technology to make Jamaican voices louder.
To tell those stories.
And to show the world just how ingenious Jamaica can be.
And that's where it gets really exciting.
I agree.
Because it's not just about economic progress, it's about the culture evolving.
It's about creating a future where Jamaica isn't just using technology,
But creating it.
setting trends.
Becoming a force on the global stage.
I love that vision.
But how do we make it happen?
Yeah, how do we get there?
What are the actual steps we need to take?
Let's explore that in the last part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential, the challenges, how culture plays into all of this.
Right, the big picture.
But how do we actually build this tech-driven future for Jamaica?
Yeah, where do we start?
Dr. Smith really wants to see a shift in education, right?
Yeah, he's urging everyone to think differently about it.
To prepare students not just for jobs that exist now, but for jobs we haven't even imagined yet.
It's a big ask, though, right?
How do you actually do that?
Well, it's got to be about moving beyond just memorizing things or taking tests.
Okay, so what then?
We need to help young people develop those critical thinking skills,
Problem solving.
being able to adapt to new information and technologies, all of that.
So it's less about teaching specific coding languages
Yeah.
and more about creating this mindset of lifelong learning.
Exactly. Think about it.
Okay.
The technical skills you learn today, they might be out of date in a few years.
That's true.
But the ability to keep learning, to adapt to new challenges, that's always going to be valuable.
It's like giving them that toolbox filled with adaptable tools instead of just one specific hammer.
I like that analogy.
But education is just one piece of this puzzle.
Oh, for sure.
What about the government and the private sector? What are their roles?
Huge roles, both of them.
Yeah.
The government needs to create policies that encourage innovation.
Investment in tech infrastructure.
Right, and policies that provide opportunities for young people to develop their skills and connect with employers.
And the private sector needs to step up and actually create those jobs.
Absolutely. Be willing to invest in young talent, provide mentorship, and foster a culture of innovation within their own companies.
So it's like this partnership.
It is a symbiotic relationship.
The government sets the stage.
The private sector creates the opportunities.
And young people bring the talent, the energy, the new ideas.
I like that.
It's like a three-legged stool.
Gotta have all three legs to make it work.
But there's a fourth leg we can't forget.
Oh, what's that?
The community.
Ah, yes, of course.
They play a vital role in supporting these young people.
Think about after-school programs, those coding boot camps, mentorship initiatives.
Right. Giving young people support and guidance that they might not get through more traditional channels.
It's that network of support, a safety net for when things get tough.
And a source of encouragement, of inspiration.
Exactly, letting them know they're not alone.
And we can't forget the role of culture in all of this.
We've talked about it a bit, yeah.
How Jamaican culture could shape the tech world.
More than just creating apps that reflect Jamaican values.
Yeah.
It's about building a tech sector that embodies those values.
So what does that actually look like?
Well, think about the Jamaican emphasis on community,
Collaboration.
resilience.
Okay.
Imagine a tech sector where those are the guiding principles.
People working together to solve problems.
Seeing failure as just a step on the way to success.
Everyone having the chance to contribute and succeed.
That's the kind of tech culture that could really thrive.
A tech sector that represents the best of Jamaican culture.
Inclusive, innovative, inspiring.
And isn't that what Davia Bryan Campbell is doing with TeenTechJa?
Yeah, creating that space for young people.
To connect, to learn, to dream big.
She's planting those seeds, fostering that culture of innovation, and inspiring a whole generation of creators.
And it's not just about technology for its own sake.
Oh, definitely not.
It's about using technology to make a difference.
To solve real-world problems, to improve people's lives.
To create a more equitable and sustainable Jamaica.
Absolutely.
It's about giving young people the power to be those change makers.
The problem solvers.
The architects of their own future.
That's what gets me excited about this conversation.
Me too.
We're not just talking about gadgets and code, we're talking about human potential.
About the power that young people have to change the world.
It's about nurturing that potential.
Giving it the space it needs to grow.
Who knows, maybe the next big tech breakthrough won't come from Silicon Valley, maybe it'll come from Kingston.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
It would. It's a reminder that innovation can come from anywhere.
That brilliance doesn't have borders.
The future isn't set in stone.
It's something we create together.
I like that.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, that's what I want our listeners to take away from this.
What's that?
Don't underestimate your own ideas, your own passion, your own desire to make a difference.
The future doesn't just happen to us. We build it.
Brick by brick, line of code by line of code, dream by dream.
Beautifully said.
And who knows, maybe this conversation has sparked an idea or ignited a passion or just made our listeners think differently.
I hope so.
If it has, then we've done our job.
I think we have.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Jamaica's tech-driven future.
It's been a pleasure.
It's a future filled with so much possibility, and we can't wait to see what happens next.